Welcome to this overview of OnePgr product functionality. The goal here is to talk about some of the challenges faced by sales teams as they conduct their outreach activities, as they act on some of the leads that they get from marketing teams, and then uh, essentially conducting their prospecting activities at scale, whether it's using email or dialers or task execution. And then we'll quickly look at OnePgr for prospect engagement. So first of all, let's get started with how you would manage your contact list in here. First of all, as an SDR, I can import my contact list essentially through an CSV file, or I can import from my CRM systems such as Salesforce, HubSpot, and many others. We provide native integration into the first two, Salesforce and HubSpot. And through Zapier and Integromat, we are able to maintain real-time active integration with some of the other CRMs as well. In here, as an SDR, I can be looking at my list here. Now, mind you, I could have imported this CSV file on my own, or marketing could have assigned me a list using a shared list functionality. So I'm able to see the qualified list coming from marketing department, maybe for a webinar or a white paper download and so on. So the end result is, as an SDR, I come in here and I'm looking at just the list, just the set of contacts that I need to act upon. Once I have it in here, I can click on this particular icon, which might be which is the call icon, and I can make a call. We support national, international calling, everything through browser-based calling functionality. As I'm talking to them, I can enable the call recording functionality, which might be good for downstream coaching type activity. Also, I can take notes. I can specify disposition in here. And if I have CRM integration set up, all of the activities I'm realizing in here, it'll be pushed back into the CRM system. So that was the calling functionality. I can also send email, take notes, take research notes, schedule meetings, and SMS. And I can also review the LinkedIn profile for this person simply by clicking on this icon if the LinkedIn profile came in through the CSV import for that contact. Right here, I can also see all of the engagement activity that is happening, including the email that were sent out, documents that were open, and the video views that were realized by this particular contact. I can also double click on this particular email. For instance, I can see the exact email that was sent out to this person. In addition to all of this, my team can see entire activity report for any of these contact lists. So that's the operating on the contact list and taking any of the communication actions. That's that we just talked about, importing CSV files and also acting upon any of the shared lists that marketing teams may have shared with me through this functionality or this module called Shared with Me. Next, we're going to talk about how to do email sequences at scale, calling session at scale, and also task execution at scale. So first of all, let's take a look at automation sequences. I would just go in here. I would set up a particular sequence with a few steps. So in this case, I have a particular sequence set up for a certain kind of startup companies. I come in here, I have step number 1, step number 2, and so on. And once I've finalized it, I'd be able to save it. But just wanted to also mention that you can leverage the document and video repository that you can use to enrich your outbound messages. So your messaging is head and shoulders above a lot of the clutter and a lot of the other email that your recipients are seeing. And you can also track engagement on videos and documents, right? Once I've set up this particular sequence, I would come in here and I would be able to add contacts from any of the contact lists that we saw earlier in the My Contact section. Let's say I go to the same list or this startup founders list right here, and I can select either some of the contacts from right here pretty quickly, or I can hit select all, and we are able to specify the limit on the number of emails you want to drop on a daily basis. All of that's pretty straightforward. But once you've done this and you specify the time and date for this particular drop, hit submit, your emails are now scheduled to be dropped at the specified time. Once the emails drop, you can come in here and take a look at this reporting section where we are showing you information, all the sequence engagement by either steps or by the drop time. In here, it's telling me there were a total of about 552 completed emails, and out of which 74 were open, and few other pieces of information are shown here as well. As an SDR, chances are I want to double click on the number of opens sorted by who's opened my email how many times, and this is a good proxy for the interest level that my live with this particular prospect. So let's take a look at this person here. Maybe there were 5 opens coming from different IP addresses, so that's all great. Now I can just go ahead and hit the call button to make the call to this person, and as we saw earlier, I can take notes, specify the disposition information, and so on. So that's the automation sequence. In addition to that, we have ability to do auto dials. So you can, just like we did earlier, I can specify, I can essentially create a calling session, like just typing in maybe a script here or naming it a certain way. Once I've done that, I would add contacts right here to this particular calling session. And once it's all done, I'm ready now to execute on my calling session. I can just go down this list simply by hitting on the dial button. And once I do this, I'd be able to, talk to them. I'd be able to specify the disposition values, as well as I'll be able to take notes. And again, everything you do here can be pushed back into your CRM system. We also have a task automation system where you can have a collection of hybrid tasks, such as make a phone call, send a document. But there, the idea is the SDR is manually taking some of those tasks, but we are also assisting the SDR by providing as much automation as we can. So that's the third item we shared here, which is doing these outreach activities at scale. Now let's take a look at the OnePgr for prospect engagement functionality. So this is a page on the web that's been set up, and this page allows me to essentially streamline my communication, all of the information set up for my prospect. And again, this can be done at scale. You might have 50 prospect that you got meeting with, or that were showing some signs of engagement. You can set up pages like this one for them. And this is just like a shared page on the web where you can have chat session with them. You can record personalized videos for them. You can add bookmarks, you can upload documents, and you'd be able to see engagement on all of this. We also give you a Calendly-like functionality for calendar management that you can set up right here. So you copy this link and they'd be able to come and meet with you here. Once it's all done and you have a meeting date and time booked with them, they would essentially come to this page and meet with you here. And on that day and time, that particular agreed upon time, you'd be able to host a session, just like a video calling session with them. And here they'd be be able to record meeting and things like that. Suffice it to say, this particular page becomes your go-to page for that particular prospect, and no more email clutter. OnePgr link is where you'd invite them, and here you'd be able to meet with them. So there are many other aspects of a OnePgr platform that we haven't talked about yet. Things like meeting recordings, where every call that you're holding with your prospect is going to get recorded, and you'd be able to see meeting analytics, such as that first of all transcription, any of the follow-up action items, any of the insights from your discussion. You don't have to take notes. You can be fully engaged and committed to the conversation you're having with the customer. So that's a quick overview of OnePgr functionality in a nutshell. Again, to reiterate, first of all, we looked at ability to manage contacts, where you can either upload your own CSV files. You can also act upon the leads that you're getting from marketing. Then we looked at how to do the outreach activities at scale through automation sequences, dialer, and task execution system. And then we looked at the OnePgr meeting page, where you are able to meet with the customer, with the prospect, and your ability to record the calls. And we touched upon all of the meeting analytics functionality. Hope this helps. We'd love to have a live conversation with you when your time and schedule permits. Please reach out to us at info@onepager.com. Thank you.